Welcome back to Emergency Dating Consulting, a place for immediate change and/or development in the world of dating. As always, thank you for watching, like and subscribe. Don't forget to send in your questions so I can answer them on the show. Let's go. Today, I have a man and woman asking for advice, and in this particular case for the man, he has an interesting scenario he feels he's stuck in. It's actually not too uncommon. Here it is. What should I do? I need help. I started hanging out with a girl who just started talking to her ex again, who is in jail and still has 2 years left in there. She said she's in love with him and is going to marry him once he gets out. She hasn't talked to him she has only talked to him on the phone and JPay. Punctuation. I wasn't planning to catch feelings for her, but I did. We have spending lots of time together, been having sex and hanging out for the past 2 months, and she tells me she loves, but she's in love with him. I think he's trying to say she told him that she's in love with him, but she's also in love with her ex who's in jail. She told him if she would have met before they started talking again, she would be with him, the guy who's writing this question. She doesn't want to hurt him again because she has left him for someone else years ago. Should I just leave her alone and move on, or stick around and see what happens? So instinctively, I'm with everyone else. This is just a triangle of toxins. However, I wanted to highlight this because many men, including myself, has bumped into these women who has fell in love with their high school sweethearts, if you will, and has stuck it out through their early adulthood and middle of their 20s before they come to the conclusion that he's no good. This is very typical, and I want to bring clarity on why this happens. I can already tell you she's an attractive woman, and what happens to attractive women, to beautiful people, but especially women, as they grow up, everyone lies to them. No one tells them the truth. No one tells them the harsh truth. So they go throughout their lives being spoiled and everyone kind of folding to their whims. These women wind up going through the world and searching for the truth. Tired of people lying to them, especially when they find out the truth. And they wonder why somebody close to them didn't tell them the truth. So these women typically get caught up with bad boys at an early age. And most women fall for bad boys because they do have this ability to speak their mind, essentially. Unfortunately, it doesn't come from a seed of righteousness. This ability for them to speak their minds come from not giving a fuck. They're angry inside, or they were raised with aggression. So these women get to at least experience somebody who is being genuine towards them and not giving a fuck about them. So these women get a tad bit confused on the leadership that they're receiving. They do have somebody that marches to the beat of their own drum, that they are a leader in their own field, and they have a group of people that they do lead. However, there is good leadership and there's bad leadership. And these women usually get caught up with the bad boys because they usually are more aggressive, hotter, demanding, right? So, and the shoe's on the other foot for men as well. They always want the mean girl, right? More aggressive, hotter, etc. And as these attractive women get older, And the thought of holding down this guy who's fucking everything and doing whatever he wants is flattering to them. And this guy who can't be held down, the fact that they're at least expressing feelings and talking about the future with these women gives them the idea that they can hold them down and they will settle with them. Unfortunately, not only do they usually have babies at a young age, but they usually tear each other apart, more the man to the woman or the bad boy to the woman, by the time she gets into her mid-20s, excuse me, already had a kid, her body's different, she's different, she's starting to wake up some more, and these women wind up shrinking and they become very cautious to other men. But the main thing, what happens to them, is they think there's so many different shades of men. They think this guy who's asking the question is way different than her ex. And as much as he's different than her ex, he's not at all. When you find yourself treating certain women this way and treating certain women a completely different way, or certain men this way and certain men a completely different way, excuse me, you're confused. You really are playing double agent here. And you can tell this woman wouldn't be going about the guy who's in jail and wouldn't be telling the things she is telling this man. She's completely giving him a completely different persona. However, her confusion lies at actually believing that this man is going to change, especially gets out of jail. God knows what he's been telling her when he gets out. However, she does, for the most part, want this guy who's asking this question today. She does appreciate his chivalry, his respect, his kindness, right? She wants all these things. However, she also wants what the bad boy gives her, which is at least telling the truth, speaking his mind, doing what he wants to do. See, if this guy who's asking this question adapted some of these qualities, right? Challenged things in his own life, face his fears, like emergency dating consulting. It's not the place you want to be. It might not make you feel comfortable. However, it is the truth. It will educate you, and it will challenge yourself to have you find yourself. And if he took out some of these qualities that this bad boy has, and he found himself, for the most part, like the bad boy has, which he did, by the way, he has emotional issues, she would go about him completely differently. However, she thinks these are cookie cutter cutouts. Right? She thinks bad boys are this, nice guys are that, and there is no in between. And that's not true. You must understand women who have given a large portion of their youth to these type of men, and they usually wind up very proud mothers, but very scorned. They wind up resenting their baby daddy while spending a life in isolation, dating here and there, but usually just trampling over these nice guys. And that's what I want to highlight today, and for men to look out for these, especially when you date them in their late 20s to early 30s. You have to be cautious and look for the red flags. And if they are half-assing you or not giving you their full energy, their full attention, not walking this path with you to a relationship, you have to let them go. They will be cautious with you all the way up to marriage, and that is no commitment, that is no respect, and that is not walking this tightrope of risky business, which are relationships and marriages. She's not doing that with you. Move on. When you do bump into these attractive women who are single moms and have these backstories with bad boys, you want their full attention. And when they give you their full attention, when they give you their full respect, when you go out with them and you have fun, you know you got one. So for Mr. Anonymous, she's 100% playing you, and any man or woman that leaves you dangling with choice of another human being, they don't want you like that. You're not at the top of their list. And that's okay. Not everyone is. However, if you are to invest your time, resources, and your energy into somebody, you want to be at the top of their list. Women who get wrapped up with these bad boys, they actually look at them as men. They respect them, they kind of fear them, and they go about them very cautiously. And when it comes to the guy who's asking the question, these men, the nice guys who always finish last, by the way, usually tend to be used as emotional snot rags. Excuse me. Don't be that emotional snot rag. Stand up for yourself. Here's a woman named Amber Adams who commented on that man's statement, who was looking for advice. And that's where I'm going to dive into for the second portion of this. This concept is about respect. I'm not the one to give up on a relationship, even if every day it seems I am questioning what the heck am I doing with this guy. I have been in a relationship for nearly 3 years. At first, everything was great. He treated me and my daughter with kindness and not a hint of aggression or anything. I had a full-time job and he did as well. Things came crashing down for him. He was put off from his job, so he moved in with us. About 12 months later, still no job for him. That didn't worry me, as he would pull his weight around the house and he paid his own bills. A few months later, we moved to a farm to be closer to the city for my daughter and her medical needs. This is where I'm questioning what happened to him. It's like after the move, he is a complete different person. He scares me. He is very angry and moody person. If things don't go his way, he gets very verbal and starts slamming doors. He is controlling. I sleep in the spare room, as his dog had priority over my bed. I once used to sleep in with him. If I cook nice meals for him, he will say he isn't hungry. If he would get a bucket and make himself sick in front of us, he will go get a bucket and make himself sick. We already know where this guy sits. I told him he needs help, as his behavior is unacceptable. He said we were the ones who needed help. Is this a classic sign of a narcissist? Yes. I don't know about classic, but yes. He was in the hospital recently. I spent 2 days looking after him while in the hospital and further week at home. I thought things were changing for the better, as he was really nice. I moved back into the main room. But today I realized he is back to his old ways, and his old ways and taking it out on us again. I don't know what to do. I'm scared, confused. I want to leave, but like I said, I'm scared. Amber, you need to get out. Matter of fact, trust your instincts on this, girlfriend. This guy is highly toxic, and he let the darkness take over, and unfortunately he's taking it out on you. My overall position that I want to highlight here is respect. When your partner starts to disrespect you, especially aggression, that is a sign he has lost respect for you. Now, she's right. At some point, he completely collapsed, unfortunately, and he took it out on her. Most guys, especially older ones, come from generations of not expressing your feelings, but especially to your woman. You're always taught to be the strong one, to always take the lead in certain situations, especially your household. And in this case, he collapsed as she stood tall and held down the fort. Mind you, he has a stepdaughter with her. He is already upset that this isn't his kid or wasn't his ideal perception of what he's seen for himself and what he wanted for himself. The fact that mom is holding it down across the board and he feels like shit, who knows, with his physical health as well. He is pissed. He is not a fan of himself, and he is not a he is not a fan that she is a fan of him more than he is. So he is completely upset, and I think a lot of women has faced the situations with a man at some point in time in their relationships. Reach out to whoever and whatever can help you, especially if he is showing signs of aggression. Personally, I don't believe this man would do something to you, but it has been years y'all have been around, and the biggest cowards usually make the biggest mistakes. So I would say to reach out for help and to reach out for someone that at least you can get away safely. I'll end it here. The fact that this man, she said he would go get a bucket and make himself sick in front of us if she cooked a nice meal. He is completely taking full advantage of your kindness and of your love, and he's spitting it back in your face. You don't deserve that. I don't give a fuck what your situation is. You don't deserve that. No one deserves that. And start to love yourself again. Get him out of there. Imagine the energy that he's putting on your daughter. If you're stressing out about this 4-year-old girl is stressing out about this. She's actually more important than any of this. So find the strength, find the courage, and reach out to get out. Get educated, EDC.